Even though I'm not religious, there are numerous stories about the Tower of Babel, where all the groups are speaking different languages. And that was a situation in testing and quality assurance before ISTQB and CTFL came on the market.
Before taking the exam, I was really always finding defects and then only fixing it. So giving in to the developers and then they fix it. But right now, I'm starting to view things with a different mindset after taking the CTFL. So yeah.
So when it comes down to AI and specifically Gen AI, I think their CTFL is even more relevant than it was. Because I talk to a lot of organizations who are now using agents for everything. They're agents to translate a business ID into requirements. Then they use an agent to translate requirement into code. Then they use an agent to put the test cases, and so the human factor is often forgotten.
Hello everyone, I'm Natia Sebilata, the lead of ISTQB podcast network, and today we have episode related to fundamentals of software testing and the career path. We will have other sessions related to software testing, so if you would like to learn more and have not subscribed yet, it's time exactly to subscribe and get more information. If you have any questions during the sessions, please write in the comment and we will come back to you. Before I will introduce my guests for today's sessions, I would like to share a little bit more about the podcast network itself. This initiative unites the local and global communities around software tester direction. The initiative itself was launched back in 2024, and later on we started recording our own podcast. And now let's give a warm welcome to our amazing guest for today's episode, Michael Pileton, co-author of Certified Tester Foundation Level, and I would say much more certificates and the products at ISTQB, and Vidur Madura, the tester, certified tester. Today we have gathered in Mauritius. Amazing weather. Humidity is quite high, of course, but I would say that the nature is amazing and very beautiful. I know that our week at ISTQB is very busy, and not only in ISTQB, for you as well. And first of all, I would like to thank both of you for being here today with me for this episode.
Our pleasure.
Yes, thank you for inviting us.
I think we can start. The first thing that I would like to ask you is to introduce yourself to our audience, and then we can move forward. Michael, maybe you can start.
I'm Michael. I'm from Belgium. I represent Belgium and the Netherlands, the qualification board. In the past, I was the co-author of the CTFL, the foundation level tester. I'm also co-author of the Agile tester, and I managed a few other products in ISTQB as well. And currently, my role is the chair of the advanced work group.
Thank you. Vidur?
Okay, so my name is Vido. I'm a certified tester, I would say from 6 months ago. And I'm also an affiliate in the ISTQB.
Thank you, Vidur. Let's start in this way. Michael, can you please tell us what problem was CTFL designed to solve from the very beginning? Why did the industry need a foundation certificate?
It's a good question. Even though I'm not religious, there are numerous stories about the Tower of Babel, where all the groups are speaking different languages. And that was a situation in testing and quality assurance before ISTQB and CTFL came on the market. So everyone was doing different things, have different names for the same activities. And when you recruited, hired or trained testers, they had no idea what they were talking to. So they said different things to the same things. They had homonyms, synonyms, and nobody actually knew what this was there. At a certain point in time, then we decided with ISTQB to embrace those challenges and say we come up with a global standard that unifies testing, that sets a global qualification standard for everybody who does something in software testing. Where the base point is that when you are ISTQB Foundation certified, you know the vocabulary which is common everywhere in the world, regardless of the industry or the SDLC where you work in, that you know the process, the basic techniques, that in fact you speak the common language that you can share. So whether we are talking here with somebody from Belgium to Mauritius, or somebody from China, or from Australia, or from America, we all understand the same things.
Thank you. Vidur, what do you think? You are a holder of this certificate, and why do you think it was important to take it? And what motivated you to take it for that time?
Okay, so I would say a year ago, I was in the field of testing itself. And like Michael said, when I just I was introduced to the testing, I would say, environment, there was a lot of terms that were not really aligned, I would say, from company to company. Even when working in other companies, with other companies, I would say the glossary wasn't the same. So after taking the ISTQB foundation level and becoming a certified tester, I would say I've gained a lot of knowledge about testing, and which I can even use in my every day-to-day task.
Yeah, I have another questions that will go deeper into this direction. Michael, you work with different companies. You have years of experience in providing consulting services, leading teams, training. Can you tell us how a certificate helps more specialists? Is there any difference between a certified specialist, expert, and a specialist who does not have a certificate?
I don't think that the biggest difference is having the certificate or not. Of course, the certificate is important, but at least as somebody has the interest in following a global standard like ISTQB, that they know what they're talking about. We have ISTQB is a not-for-profit, so we deliver the syllabi for free, we deliver the exam questions for free, we deliver the glossary for free. It's there for everybody in more than 40 languages. So wherever you are in the world, there is a common standard which is open to everybody. We have certified already more than 1 million people, so there are 1 million people in testing out there who share that vocabulary, who share that sense of quality. So when I want to recruit somebody, when I want to compose a team that is quality driven, I'm looking for that criticality in their mindset, criticizing the product, trying to find defects while using that common vocabulary.
Thank you. Vidur, was specific moment at your work where your CTFL knowledge made a real difference? Because you took the exam and then there was some period when you understood that it makes difference for you.
I would say before taking the exam, I was really always finding defects and then only fixing it. So giving in to the developers and then they fix it. But right now, I'm starting to view things with a different mindset after taking the CTFL. So yeah, I would say the CTFL exam has given me a lot of, I would say, knowledge regarding software testing, and with the common glossary, I'm able to communicate in a more, I would say, concise and precise way with developers and with other testers who are certified. So we get
You feel more confident.
confident, and also there's no confusion regarding terms where we'd say, for example, confirmation testing. I would say long ago I had a different understanding of what it was, and after doing the ISTQB foundation level, I now know that it has a specific definition, and that definition I use with other testers who are certified, and I can say that we are on the same level now.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I can relate to that because if you need to talk to developers, you find a defect, and there's not a single developer who likes to be pointed to a defect. If you then say, I used an academically underbuilt, empirically driven test design technique, and you can show this is what happened, and I use these boundary values or this decision table, they will understand, they can relate to that. If you just say, I was testing out in the wild error guessing, then they typically say it works on my machine, it's due to your test data or something like. So the more structured you are in your test approach, the more appreciation you get from your developers.
And even the way we report the bugs.
Yep.
it makes it more understandable for them as developers to find the source and fix the bug.
It shortens their time to finding a bug fix.
Okay. Now I would like to move to the direction that everyone talks about, all the changes, transformations that is happening on the market. Mostly, of course, it's AI, the cost that brings the new trends and all the transformations, and everything goes so fast nowadays. A lot of things are changing, Michael. And what do you think as a co-author? Does CTFL stay relevant on the market in the era of changes?
Of course, ISTQB and especially CTFL is the greatest common denominator amongst testers worldwide. So it will never be leading edge and it will never be bleeding edge. So we are never in front of the newest trends, but we're always also not lagging behind. We're somewhere in the middle because we want to consolidate the knowledge which is applicable everywhere. So when it comes down to AI and specifically Gen AI, I think their CTFL is even more relevant than it was. Because I talk to a lot of organizations who are now using agents for everything. They're agents to translate a business ID into requirements. Then they use an agent to translate requirement into code. Then they use an agent to put the test cases. And so the human factor is often forgotten. And when you then put these AI models through the tests, and you ask them, hey, given this test case, given this requirement, can you create me some test cases based on this technique? You get a plausible answer. Plausible. Non-deterministic. If you ask the same question again, you get different test cases. And that's dangerous because the result seems oh so clear, and it's not. And you have the same thing with test automation. I've seen test cases being generated by AI. They're all green. And then you realize there's no assertion in there, there's no check in there, and it's green, so everybody is happy we can release. But the boomerang comes back 6 months later when it comes to production. Now, what is the role of CTFL in there? The main message of CTFL is to have that critical mindset. It's about verification, about validation, about finding defects. Confirmation testing, like you say, or validating whether something works, their AI is very good at. You give the source code, create me some test cases, and it will validate. All green, that's fine. But then on top of that, supplementing that, you need the human eye to see, okay, let us explore now. What if I combine this and this? And then you challenge the requirement and you go to shift left and you do things that an AI bot will never think of. And that is where the CTFL is good at. It's about the right process, but also terminology, using different techniques, thinking out of the box, combining white box with black box, with exploratory or experience-based techniques. And that is something where there's still advancement to be made in the age of AI. So yes, I think especially nowadays when people are cutting down on testing efforts and investing even more in automation and Gen AI-driven automation, that is very critical to preserve that mindset with CTFL.
Thank you. Vidur, now I have a question to your side. What would you say to the other testers who are not willing to take exam and think that they will learn from work and exams are not needed? What would you recommend from your side, from your experience and the path that you move?
From my experience, I would say if they do not take the CTFL, they're gonna lag behind because, like Michael was saying, standardizing all the norms, all the glossary techniques. There are many people who don't even know about the different techniques. They don't they only do exploratory testing or other testing, which maybe is black box testing or white box testing, but they don't know the definition itself. They don't know how to maybe plan their test, their work. They don't really have a standard. So I would really recommend everyone who think they do not need the CTFL to go in that way, in that direction, so that they can even, I would say, climb the ladder because of this certification scheme, which have many other skills like advanced level and expert level. But that depends. But the foundation level is, I would say, the basic one, which everyone should possess, I think, as a tester.
This is very interesting that you mentioned as tester and young specialists, especially that it's really must to have and needed to have in order to go further and then to develop and move further with your career path. Thank you.
Can I dive deeper into this? Well, I truly feel what you are saying, and this morning we had a very interesting discussion about the future of CTFL. But of course, we are continuously evolving because we want to stay up to date. And then the question was, what should we renew? What should we add to CTFL? And there it was, how can we compare CTFL to something else? And the analogy was made that CTFL is like a driver's license, the theoretical part of a driver's license. In many countries, that is mandatory before you can start to learn how to drive a car. Does CTFL make you a good tester? On itself, no. I mean, if you can just study by heart, you can pass the exam. You don't need testing experience for that. Does working in testing alone make you good testing? Also no, because then you lack the technical skills or the theoretical skills. So they nicely complement each other. I've been in conversations the last day with people from all over the world saying, well, we promote that people have 6 months experience in testing before taking the exam or doing the exam and then testing, but that you have experience for both sides, the practical aspects on the job and then coaching and mentorship and then the certification training.
Exactly. I would say the CTFL paves the path for testing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Actually, Michael, you already touched the questions that I was moving forward. I wanted to ask you about the future plans related to the product development of the CTFL. Any upcoming plans that you can share for this stage to our audience? Like a spoiler.
Yeah, but that's a secret. I don't know if I can tell. Well, now that you ask so politely, as you know, that Friday we have the General Assembly, the meeting, and there's a motion coming forward to update the CTFL. Now, updating a syllabus in ISTQB is a very lengthy process. It's political. You have to be clear about that. It's plus 70 countries, all having different visions. I know that in the past, when we made foundation more agile-like, especially people in the East, they don't like agile so much. There is much more directive. The boss says, and that's what we'll do. While if you go to the western part of Europe, there it's agile that's already gone for 10 years. We don't do that anymore. So ISTQB is always about finding the compromise. So we're following the trends. We're trying to make the best potential product. But of course, we're stuck in the boundaries of if you translate a syllabus into time, into a training, you're stuck with 3 days. You cannot extend 3 days. For a lot of people, for a lot of companies, 3 days training is the maximum. So if you want to add certain topics, you have to also remove certain topics, which make it hard to find the balance. So we're doing the exercise right now. We have inquiries, we have interviews being done just to compose all kinds of ideas. The first thing is, what is the minimal viable product that defines what is a tester? And then we're mostly aiming at soft skills, the analytical mindset, the communication skills, collaboration, critical mindset, thinking outside of the box. That is what a tester needs. Then we extend that with everything which is fundamental for a tester. When I look at the current syllabus, it's the 7 testing principles, it's the V model, it's an agile model, how to work in that you can coordinate, certain techniques to advance that you can know how to do, but that's it. And then we can highlight certain new things, but then your content is already full. So it's really about making very, very hard choices.
And I think for today's episode, I have my last question to either side. What's your future plans in your career development path? Like, what's your plans?
So my future, I would say, is going towards automation testing.
Oh.
And I'm really, I've already begun training on the test automation engineering syllabus. And hopefully in the near future, I will take the certification and then, like I said, climb the ladder of the testing world.
I'm sure.
Yes, using AI, because AI also, I think, is becoming complementary in testing.
Right.
Yes, much hand in hand.
Absolutely.
I think that's all the questions that I had for today, but I would like to thank both of you once again, to be my guest for today's episode. I wish you success with your plans. And to our audience, I would like to say thank you for staying with us. We will have much more sessions in future, so stay with us and wish you success and good luck. Bye-bye.